Right, okay, I'm going to do a very quick disclaimer. I found out I was going to do this talk 2 hours ago. Which is also why the title on the other side was different, because Pablo just made that up. And I was like, this is great, do you want to make my slides while you're at it? Because that would be so fun. But we'll find out what we find out, I'm not going to lie. I tried to get a model going in the background. If it works, this will be a real fun 10 minutes. If it didn't, it'll be a real sad 10 minutes. But we'll take it as we go. For the people who are saying, oh my god, it's all AI, but all I've ever talked about is AI in my whole life, so I can't be held accountable to this. Other people who've just jumped in the bandwagon, you're on your own. But in terms of that, very quickly, my name is Akanksha. I am a Microsoft AI MVP and a data and AI consultant here in Melbourne at Iris, which is to set ourselves apart from the crowd in AI tech consulting, which is very, very basic. We do the same thing everyone else does. But we do it differently, I promise. Come chat to me later. But that photo has been around since, no joke, I graduated college. And it's what I've put on every single presentation I've ever made, and now I've vowed to keep it the same one forever. Because it says I'm Irish, so if I'm talking too fast for people, which is gonna happen because I'm like trying to keep myself on the time look today, just chuck your hand up and I'll try and slow back down. But the agenda for today is probably not going to be that because we're going to fly through it. The aim of today is just to give you a very quick idea of how can you do some document intelligence really, really quickly without having to think about APIs, without having to think about any kind of coding involved. So when you've got documents and you just want to make sure you're getting all the information you need from that one little tiny snippet of it and you want to automate that process, this is what a potential solution could look like. Azure AI, very quickly, has a whole heap of things. I'm sure everyone here has seen, I feel like at this stage I live in fear of going to sleep because then there'll be another 15 different updates that they've come through in the world of AI. But I think this is about accurate to about 2 months ago, which means it's literally ancient. There's a whole heap of different things that they're doing. So everything from your whole experience of having a platform that you can just put your data onto, having services that you can just leverage and have everything built out of the box, ready to go, implementable, I think that's the right word, through to just having machinery and hardware that you can then leverage to build your own solutions. So what we're going to focus on is a specific aspect of this, which is the document intelligence. I was like, is it even on the slide? It is. Document intelligence, has anyone done any document intelligence solutions here? 1 or 2? I see some knowing nods, I like it. Mostly no's, okay, great. Perfect audience, 10 minutes, this is going to be great. You're going to all be here being like, I can do this. And you'll tell me that you tried and it never worked, so that's going to be a great conversation. Come back next week if you find out, we'll go through all the problems. But some of the use cases, very quickly, I guess. Oh, apparently I put no use cases in there. This is what I mean. I think we should do like a blind dex situation. Could be fun. But some of the use cases are very much things like places that have a lot of invoices coming through. And they basically seeing someone sitting there having to pull an invoice through. They come in all variations of shapes and sizes and forms and formats. And they have to pull out 5 different things, just your PO number, your invoice number, how much was the number, tax, and the item, and the date. The date is probably important too. That's someone's job. That's what they're sitting there and doing that every single day. That's definitely something that's working in this day and age, right? I mean, I can definitely put a document into ChatGPT and be like, give me the info. They'll do it pretty quickly. Is that what we should do in a corporate environment? Oh my god, I'm seeing yes. No, that is absolutely not what we should be doing. Data privacy is important, people. Don't put your data into ChatGPT. Which is why we choose the right service, which essentially is an environment that you can make sure that your data is actually safe. So when you extract things and you're using them, your context and your information that is very, very important and private and secure. I sound like I'm talking to my parents trying to tell them to change their password. It's really important to not do that. But when you are choosing is it not working? There we go. Oh my god, whoever's been missing out on all my jokes so far, I'm sorry for you. But one of the right services is document intelligence, but it does come with caveats, mainly pricing. Any solution that comes out of the box that is everything it can do for you straight away is going to be expensive. So just make sure you are looking at the cost of it and what you're actually trying to avoid and build out for.
If you don't actually have the skill sets in your business to maintain and create solutions around AI, use this. It's worth the money. It's worth the kind of incrementally extra cost that it costs per page than to hire out a whole team of really, really expensive developers. I'm not saying don't hire developers. It's really important to do that. But if your use case is like very small, it might be worth looking at it. Okay, what time are we at? Creating I'll show that in a minute. So there's a few different types of models that exist in doc things. So just plain old simple document analysis. That's, I have a document, I've read the document. In the service, there's also pre-built models that'll come up, which are pretty cool. So it's just, they've actually trained specific types of documents into the service. So you don't have to go through and train anything at all. You just pop your data into it and it'll do it. So things like tax forms, a lot of those pre-built solutions are very US focused. So it's like US tax W-2s and things like that. It is what it is. Azure is American. But some of those things like credit card invoices and things like that can be automated already. And then there's custom build. So in the interest of time, let's go have a quick demo. I am doing the most here right now. But in Document Intelligence, in your Azure portal, if you look up Document Intelligence and create a resource, which is always going to be in your top left, click a few buttons, select your subscription, resource group, and you'll end up at a page like this. From here, we're going to go into our studio, and this is what it's going to look like. So this is where I was saying very simple stuff of your document analysis, which is your read a document, look at the layout of a document, or just generally have a look at documents and see what's happening in there. Pre-built models, these are some of the kind of ones that you'll be able to find. So again, quite US heavy focus, so US mortgages, pay stubs, bank statements, things like that. But we're going to scroll all the way down to custom models. So let's have a look at creating, of course it's signed me out. Let's go create. I don't have the time to log in, but this is what a custom extraction of a model would look like. So when you're using Document Intelligence, you need about 5 images at a bare minimum, right? 5 images, documents, whatever else floats your fancy, preferably some kind of a visual image intake. You upload them through this pretty button that says Browse for Files. I don't have files on this laptop because I wasn't planning on this one, but I have them pre-built. So there's 5 images I've uploaded, and I'm going to try and zoom in so people can read this. But it's basically just a small mom and pop business, leaf and mortar. Really, it's fun creating this document. And it's always just asking, it's like, hey, I've got information I want to put in. So if you think about random business like plumbing, if you put in an information request, or if you put into a lawyer, for example, you'll have to put in your details, they'll call you back for these specific things. That's a form you filled out, that needs to be processed somewhere. That can be all automated very quickly with things like this. So when you're using extraction, you basically use things like draw region, so you can highlight specific areas and then say, this is whatever you want it to be. So let me get rid of that area. So here is first name. Sorry, it's very blurry, but I'm assuming people can kind of figure out what that says. So if I highlight this area and say, hey, that is the customer name. So you can create these labels as you go. So over here on the add a field button on the right-hand side, you can add a field of all the different pieces of information you might want to take out of this document. Highlight the bit that you want, attach it to that field. So this is essentially training. This is you telling the model, this is what this is, right? Customer name is going to be in this area, figure it out what's written in there, and extractive forming. So in this, it's going to do OCR and actually do, okay, this is what it's identified, and then convert that digitally into letters. So I've gone through and actually done all of that on these documents. How do I exit it? Perfect. So the bits of information that we are asking for here is going to be your, oh my God, sorry, end drawing. Thank you very much. Do not want to draw anymore. So we've got first name, last name, address, phone number, email, what do you want to do, any extra bit of information in a free handwritten box. I've gone through and I've done the exact same highlighting across all the different documents I have. And again, in a business scenario, the same thing would exist, where you'll have a supplier that always has its own format in the invoices that it sends you. You'll have at least a couple of those that you can put through the system. So every time that supplier sends you an invoice, it'll get automated. With that, that's as much of the effort as we need to do. We hit the train button over on the right-hand side. And then what it does, we'll find out the moment of truth. Did it succeed? It succeeded. So it takes about half an hour to run a model. You don't need to clap. The model did everything. I did nothing. I clicked a button. No, thank you. So it took about half an hour. It says it went through, pulled out all these names, and it doesn't have an accuracy yet because we haven't tested it. So let's go and test it. Is it going to be terrible? So let me delete this. I did test this earlier. That's a lie. I didn't know this was going to work. So here is a blank image that the model technically hasn't seen before, other than the last second that you just saw it seeing it. But let's hit run analysis. And it's gone through and analyzed it, and it's picked up the exact blocks that we needed it. And I think what's really interesting, and this I guess I'm going to point out, so let's say, let me zoom in. So as you can see, in the box that we've highlighted, it says Sanjeev, last name, Dagger, right? And I asked it to pull out customer name. And what's kind of cool is it only pulled out the written name. It didn't pick up last name, even though that's written into the box. So it's actually able to identify, a bit of it is just built-in intelligence of like, hey, okay, these are the written information pieces I need to take out. This is what's inside the form already. Again, similarly with your address, it actually just pulled out specifically the details of the name. I think my writing is just terrible because that says F-U-R, not F-O-U-R. It is what it is. And so on and so forth with all the different aspects of it. So at a very, very 11 minutes variation of, right, I've got 3 minutes left, but that is essentially all you need to be able to run a very quick document intelligence scan and automate that process. If you've got every single month you're getting a couple of documents that you need to come through, you could put it through this, because that would actually apply at a free tier. Very simple to do. But if you've got a whole heap of different more, the whole process can be automated and pushed through the whole environment of Document Intelligence Studio. Did I have any more slides left? We'll find out together, folks. Oh, we did. Oh, these are all the different pre-built models that exist on the environment. So again, yeah, very American focused. So one day we might get some more specifically to us, but until then, building out your custom ones like we just saw, it's not too onerous. It's a little bit of annoying where you kind of do have to go highlight pieces and stuff. But again, you only have to do that for 5 documents-ish. The more data you give it, of course, the better it will be. But even at that very high level, you saw it being able to pick up all the details quite quickly and quite accurately, if I do say so myself. And that's it. That was my 10-minute I guess, any questions?
You're going to have to share the microphone.
Oh, no, how dare I? That's all right. But yeah, any questions?
Yeah, we have something here.
Okay.
Can that work? Yeah.
Okay.
Can you?
Is this better? No, it's not on yet. Not yet? Wait. There's a question at the back.
Well, in the meantime, well, I'm gonna to Slido. Do you put it on Slido? There you go. You have a couple of minutes. First of all, thank you very much for your presentation. It was very interesting. I didn't know that. Also, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Anyway, this is mine. But, okay, so first question for you. Why 5 images? Is that how the app is supposed to work like? Or is 5 images represent the type of the document?
5 of the type of document you wanted to scan. So it just needs to be able to it needs some level of training to be able to understand what you wanted to do and where the pickup areas are and what you wanted to extract. So for that, it needs about 5.
That's pretty cool.
As a sample set. Yeah, which I mean, if you think back to the good old times of machine learning, which is ancient work, we don't think about those things. That was like thousands and thousands of images you needed. But
right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What if this person's name is last name?
I'm questioning how you've gotten through life, to be quite honest. But I mean, I think I would assume it would figure that out. I mean, feel free to try it. That's what I would say. Those were just me writing out those random answers into it. Sanjeev is my dad's name. Like, I don't know.
How does he handle really, really bad scans of documents or terrible doctor-like handwriting?
As good as a human would. I mean, if I can't read it, I shouldn't expect AI to read it, to be quite honest.
It kind of makes me want to try it with.
Give it a shot. I mean, again, give it a shot. I will be back at the next one. Come tell me how badly or well it went. Like, I would love to hear it.
Nice. On the training, I assume, well, this person assumes each document needs to be the same form, or as you said, invoice forms can change over time. How does the model handle that?
I think small drifts are okay, but again, if you're retraining it, it only really needs 5-ish data points to be able to retrain it, as you can see. But even in those forms, I don't know if we saw it, but so this one had everything filled out. This one had nothing. It was just a dash written into the last one. This one had some bits. This one had like literally no information in the email address. So it's still able to figure out the differences within it. So if people aren't filling it in as they should be, because this is not a digital document, you could put a must answer requirement on them. It'll just pull out what it's in there. But yes, the format changes. You have to retrain it.
Nice. Well,
And there's a question at the back.
Questions on Slido.
If you want to shout it out, I'll repeat the question.
Sorry, I don't know what slide it was.
That's all right. No, yeah, I can.
I'm getting there. Come close. Oh.
Hi. Thank you. That was really interesting. What would it do? Like, could you handle a general purpose document processing workflow? Like, let's say you know that it's going to have a first name and last name, but you don't know where in the document it could be.
I mean, yeah, because it could do the general extraction of everything, and then you could run that through an identifier or a segment, kind of like custom vision or search. AI search will do it, or variations of anything. Because once that extraction has happened into digital, you could just do a Control F at its basics. But that kind of bit is automatic. But yeah. Cool.
We have another one.
Oh, yep.
Sorry. I was just wondering, does it expose like a confidence or something? And how do you talk to it not through the UI, like JSON endpoint or like, API endpoint? Or...
I do have an answer to this. I just can't think of it.
Sorry.
I can hunt it down later if you want to ping me again. But yes, sorry, there is ways of actually talking to it and like exporting all the data. It lands into a place that you define where you want the data to land to and then be able to read it. So all that exists. I just don't know it off the top of my head.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, something that you guys don't know is that she came jumping last minute. Well, I mean, she mentioned it, right? But what you don't know, can I say that you have something to do?
Oh, yeah, I do have to run too.
She has to do something now, no? So double applause, don't do it yet, because not only she jumped in, but also she did it with a lot of pressure with the time, right? But English, but doesn't matter. Anyway, so a big applause for her.
This is obviously what I do this for. Thank you very much. Just need to claps at the end, actually. But no, I'm going to jump out. But if you do need to reach out about anything, reach out to me on LinkedIn or whatever. But I will be back at the next by night. I'm usually around these things. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your pizza.
Ciao. Bye. Good luck.